Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. So today me and my team members would like to present about Malaysia's inflation rate based on MIDF research. So first I would like to introduce my team members. We are have we have only three members. First me myself, Aleeya, and then we have Syaratoul, Elisa, and Aina.
Hi, my name is Aina. I'll be explaining the primary factors expected to contribute to the increase in inflation in Malaysia in 2024. One of the primary factors expected is non-food inflation. As fuel prices rise due to the newly subsidy program, non-food inflation is expected to increase. Higher transportation costs can lead to increased prices for a wide range of non-food items, from manufactured goods to services, contributing to an overall rise in the inflation rate. Next is global commodity prices. While the article anticipates a normalization of global commodity prices, any unexpected volatility or increase in these prices can affect inflation. Malaysia, being an open economy, is sensitive to changes in global commodity prices, which can impact the cost of raw materials and consequently the prices of finished goods. Next is labor market dynamics. Tight labor markets and rising wages can increase production costs for businesses, which may then be reflected in higher prices for goods and services. Lastly is the government policies. Reduction or removal of subsidies on essential items like fuel and utilities can directly lead to price increases. Additionally, changes in tax policies, such as the implementation of new taxes or increases in existing ones, can also contribute to inflation.
So next I will continue to answer the question number 2. The question asks to identify and explain the types of inflation based on the article. So the article discusses different types of inflation, each impacted by various economic factors. First I got here is headline inflation. This refers to the overall rise in prices across a broad basket of goods and services, capturing the general inflation rate. In Malaysia, the headline inflation rate was 1.5% year-on-year in November, reflecting the broad cost changes in the economy. Second is core inflation. Core inflation excludes volatile items such as food and energy prices, providing a clearer picture of underlying inflation trends. This measure decreased to 2.0% year-on-year, still above the pre-pandemic average of 1.7%, indicating persistent price changes in the broader economy without the noise from volatile sectors. Next is food inflation. This measures the rate at which food prices are increasing. The article notes that food inflation was 5.1% year-on-year in November, down from 5.7% the previous year. It is expected to decrease to 4.5% in 2024 due to improved domestic supply chains and normalized global commodity prices. The next one is non-food inflation. This tracks the prices changes in goods and services excluding food items. Non-food inflation remained at 0.9% year-on-year in November. It is expected to rise to 2.5% in 2024, influenced by the introduction of fuel targeted subsidy program. Lastly, I got fuel inflation. This specific measures tracks change in the fuel prices. In November, Malaysia's fuel inflation rate was 1.3% year-on-year, indicating a price contraction. This trend is projected to continue due to government's current full subsidy mechanism and the anticipate managed float price mechanism for RON 95 petrol. So for the summary, by distinguishing between this type of inflation, the article provides a detailed understanding of different sectors experiencing prices changes and the factors influencing these trends in Malaysia. I will pass to Syaratoul back.
Hi, my name is Syaratoul Elisa and now I will give the answer for question 3. So the question is, explain the policy measures that would be effective in controlling rising inflation in Malaysia based on the article. So the answer is, the policy measures that could be effective in controlling rising inflation in Malaysia based on article is supply chain improvement. Improved domestic supply chains could contribute to controlling inflation by ensuring the efficient distribution of goods and reducing logistical costs. A more streamlined supply chain can help stabilize price and prevent sudden spikes in inflation. Secondly is the global commodity price stabilization. Normalized global commodity prices are expected to contribute to lower food inflation rates in Malaysia. Policies aimed at stabilizing global commodity price or diversifying sources of imports could help prevent inflationary pressure stemming from external factors. The next step are fiscal policies. Supportive fiscal policies have been mentioned as contributing to the softening of inflationary pressure. Continued fiscal measures aimed at stimulating economic growth while maintaining price stability could be effective in controlling inflation. Besides that is the structural reform. Structural reforms aim at increasing productivity, enhancing competitiveness, and reducing production costs can have long-term benefits in controlling inflation. These reforms may include investment in education and skills training, infrastructure development, and regulatory reform to improve the business environment. Other than that, price control are also effective in controlling inflation in Malaysia. Implementing price control on essential goods and services, particularly those experiencing significant price increase, could help prevent inflation from spiraling out of control. However, price control needs to be carefully managed to avoid distortion in the market and unintended consequences. So, the last step is continued subsidy mechanism. The article discusses the government's plan to maintain the current full subsidy mechanism until the year end, which contributes to the contraction in full inflation rates. Continuing or adjusting existing subsidy mechanism for essential goods and services could help mitigate inflationary pressure on consumers. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I will describe the potential consequences of rising inflation on the affordability of essential goods and services in Malaysia. One of the potential consequences is increased cost of living. As inflation rises, the prices of essential goods such as food, healthcare, and transportation increase. This reduces the purchasing power of consumers, making it harder for them to afford basic necessities. Next is reduced disposable income. With more money being spent on essentials, there is less disposable income for non-essential goods and services, which can impact the overall economy as demand for this item decreases. Next is pressure on social services. As more people struggle to afford essentials, there may be increased pressure on government social services and subsidies to support those in need, straining public resources. There's also decreased purchasing power. As inflation increases, the value of the Malaysian ringgit diminishes. meaning consumers can buy less with the same amount of money. This reduction in purchasing power directly affects the affordability of essential goods and services such as food, housing, healthcare, and transportation. Next is impact on savings and investment. Inflation erodes the real value of saving if interest rate on deposits do not keep pace with inflation. This discourages savings and can impact long-term financial security. Conversely, investment in assets that traditionally hedge against inflation, like real estate, may become less accessible due to higher prices. Lastly is business costs and pricing. Businesses face higher costs for raw materials, labor, and transportation, which are often passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. This can lead to a vicious cycle of rising costs and prices, further fueling inflation.